So welcome everyone on behalf of the LaGrange Sri Aurobindo Integral Life Center here in Fountain Inn, South Carolina. We are just so pleased to have you all joining us today for a very special gathering in celebration of the anniversary of the mother's final return to Pondicherry. And today, various community members will be sharing passages, videos, and talks related to the mother. And community members include Madhu Vivek, Jayashri Blanch, Sailaja Atala, Dolores Santamaria, Vladimir Yatsenko, and a very, very special dear friend, Nadit, who was blessed with the mother's presence and asked by her to help design the gardens of the Matra Mandir. And Nadit is joining us from Pondicherry, and we do welcome you, Nadit, and we are very honored that you're able to join us today, and we'll be joining you in a second as you read Savitri. But first, just a couple comments or announcements. I do want to mention that towards the end of this Darshan gathering, there will be time for participants to share by way of a quote or a short story or personal commentary. And if you would like to make an offering to the mother during this time, you can raise your hand and Dolores will ask you to open your mic and share. We would only ask that you keep your offering to a minute or two so that others also have the chance to share. And if everyone could kindly keep their mics off until the sharing period, we'd greatly appreciate it. So once again, we welcome you to this Darshan gathering, and it was on this day, April 24th, 1920, that the mother returned to Pondicherry, where she would stay for good. And it marked a new phase of her work, which she would now do in collaboration with Sri Aurobindo. In the pursuing years, they worked together to bring down a new type of consciousness that could transform our entire being and lead to the divinization of the material world, bringing spirit into matter. This new consciousness is the supramental consciousness. So let us open this Zoom celebration with the Darshan message being read by Madhu Vivek. Madhu?
Namaste. April 24, 2024. When in your heart and thought you will make no difference between Sri Aurobindo and me. When to think of Sri Aurobindo will be to think of me. And to think of me will mean to think of Sri Aurobindo inevitably. When to see one will mean inevitably to see the other, like one and the same person. Then you will know that you begin to be open to the supramental force and consciousness, the mother.
I'd like to now turn it over to Nadid for a reading of a passage in Savitri and the sharing of a few words of his experiences with the mother. Nadid?
Narad, could you just put the camera a bit because we see only for a head of yours? And just turn it like onto your face. Yeah, now we see you very well. Yeah. Something like that.
Okay, is that all right?
Yes, good. Thank you.
Namaste all. It has been 62 years since I met Mother. And all that time I have been reading Savitri. The extraordinary book, Book 2, the book of the traveler of the worlds, takes us through Sri Aurobindo's in the persona of Ashwapati, experiences climbing this world stair and seeing all these different life forms, mixed, good, bad, etc. There are 15 cantos in Book 2, and we are in the 14th canto now. So let us follow Ashwapati and see what he is experiencing. Beginning with page 294, the world soul. Into creation's center he had come. The spirit, wandering from state to state, finds here the silence of its starting point, in the formless force and the still fixity and brooding passion of the world of soul. All that is made and once again unmade, the calm, persistent vision of the one inevitably remakes. It lives anew. Forces and lives and beings and ideas are taken into the stillness for a while. There they remold their purpose and their drift, recast their nature, and reform their shape. Ever they change, and changing ever grow, and passing through a fruitful stage of death, and after long reconstituting sleep, resume their place in the process of the gods until their work in cosmic time is done. Here was the fashioning chamber of the worlds. An interval was left twixt act and act, twixt birth and birth, twixt dream and waking dream. A pause that gave new strength to do and be. Beyond were regions of delight and peace, mute birthplaces of light and hope and love, and cradles of heavenly rapture and repose. In a slumber of the voices of the world, he of the eternal moment grew aware. His knowledge, stripped bare of the garbs of sense, knew by identity, without thought or word. His being saw itself without its veils. Life's line fell from the spirit's infinity. Along a road of pure interior light, alone between tremendous presences, under the watching eyes of nameless gods, his soul passed on, a single conscious power, towards the end which ever begins again, approaching through a stillness dumb and calm, to the source of all things human and divine. There he beheld, in their mighty union's poise, the figure of the deathless two in one, a single being in two bodies clasped, a diarchy of two united souls, seated, absorbed in deep creative joy. Their trance of bliss sustained the mobile world. Behind them, in a morning dusk, one stood, who brought them forth from the unknowable. Ever disguised, she awaits the seeking spirit. Watcher on the supreme, unreachable peaks, guide of the traveler of the unseen paths, she guards the austere approach to the alone. At the beginning of each far-spread plain, pervading with her power the cosmic suns, she reigns, inspirer of its multiple works, and thinker of the symbol of its scene. Above them all, she stands, supporting all, the sole omnipotent goddess, ever veiled, of whom the world is the inscrutable mask. The ages are the footfalls of her tread, their happenings the figure of her thoughts, and all creation is her endless act. His spirit was made a vessel of her force. Mute in the fathomless passion of his will, he outstretched to her his folded hands of prayer. Then, in a sovereign answer to his heart, a gesture came as of worlds thrown away. And from her raiment lustrous mystery raised one arm, half parted, the eternal veil. A light appeared, still and imperishable, attracted to the large and luminous depths of the ravishing enigma of her eyes. He saw the mystic outline of a face, overwhelmed by her implacable light and bliss, an atom of her illimitable self, mastered by the honey and lightning of her power, tossed towards the shores of her ocean ecstasy, drunk with a deep golden spiritual wine. He cast from the rent stillness of his soul a cry of adoration and desire, and the surrender of his boundless mind, and the self-giving of his silent heart. He fell down at her feet, unconscious, prone. So we see it in these few lines that Ashwapati, Sri Aurobindo, was aware that he could not change this world scene alone. And so he appealed to the divine to send down savagery. Now I have been asked to share with you a few experiences with Mother, or about Mother. And I think the first one is sort of unique because it's a friend of mine, Bob Zwicker, who works in the archives. When I was telling him this story, he said, "Oh, Nara, this is exactly my experience also." And it was the experience of walking into Mother's room, and there were no walls and no ceiling. It was vast, so vast. And you had to walk quite a few steps to get to her chair. And now when we come today, we see it's 2 steps. And her chair is right in front of us. So Bob and I both had the same experience. I'll share one more with you. And that is an experience I had with Mother on the higher planes of existence, where she is having me look out upon all these worlds, all these creations. And very softly, she says to me, "I have shown you the multiplicity in order that you may realize the unity." And this unity is what we always strive for and must continue to strive for. I think that's probably enough for today. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you so much, Narad, for sharing these experiences of yours and this beautiful reading of this magnificent passage of Sri Aurobindo. meeting the mother. And, you know, in the literature, in the occultism, in the Kabbalistic literature, the Isis, the Divine Mother, is constantly veiled. Nobody saw her face because the veil is falling on her face and nobody ever saw her face. But in this passage, she removed partially the veil and the light appeared and he saw the outline of the face. This is the most mysterious event pointing to those highest realizations possible. And of course, the arrival of the mother was destined from the beginning. She saw Sri Aurobindo in her vision from her nearly childhood. She had this kind of interaction with the being whom she called Krishna. And we can even say that her arrival on 24th of April was the arrival, final arrival, to her destiny from the beginning of her life. And of course, she arrived in 1914 on March 29th, first time, and met and recognized Sri Aurobindo. But because of this First World War, they were parted. They were not meant to stay together. So because of that political situation, she had to leave. But she spent nearly a year with him till February 22, 22nd of February of 1915. And it's interesting because on February 22nd, she has left for Paris. That means on the 21st, on her birthday, she was still with Sri Aurobindo. Most probably that was her decision to stay on her birthday with him and then to leave. And of course, there was 1 year in Paris and then 4 years in Japan. These are very interesting events. But what is the most interesting is that Mother recollects in the agenda. She says that when she was leaving Sri Aurobindo, she left with him her psychic being. And so for these 5 years, she was kind of with psychic being with Sri Aurobindo kept, which is unthinkable even to think of. But he started to write Arya, all his major works, when she arrived. And when she arrived second time already, then he basically stopped writing his Arya. So this was the period initiated by the mother of his major writings. And when she arrived, as Sri Aurobindo said himself, the sadhana and the work was waiting for the mother's coming. This was the most significant event. Somebody even asked Sri Aurobindo once why he was sitting on the path, not moving anywhere, so to say, in his sadhana. He said, if we can compare that period of waiting for the mother, that was sitting on the path. And in that period, he wrote all his major works. Can you imagine what is for Sri Aurobindo sitting on the path, writing Life Divine, Synthesis of Yoga, and all his major works? And what is not sitting on the path, that what it means. So when Mother arrived, they started the intense sadhana. And she never left afterwards on the cherry. She was till the end of her life there. So the significance of this and importance of this day is tremendous. That's few thoughts which I wanted to share with you, my thoughts about this supreme meeting and sadhana of of the Supreme Mother and Sri Aurobindo. And today's message, by the way, which Madhu read, is about this. They are one and the same consciousness. And those who understand this, they open to the supramental influence. If they don't, then most probably they have much more to do still. Thank you. And now we would have a short film, which is 20 minutes of Mother speaking to Surendra, which was published once by Tara Didi. It is her father. It's a very interesting conversation, only 20 minutes. So let me project and we will watch this conversation between the mother and Surendra. Let me start again.
Je croyais que c'était ton frère qui venait. Non? C'est toi?
D'abord, c'était lui qui devait.
Hein?
Il devait venir.
Ah,
Après-
n'est-ce pas?
Oui.
Il m'avait écrit que c'était ton frère.
Après, Tara m'a dit c'est mieux si tu vas.
Oh. Alors, assois-toi. What is it?
Read this.
Hein? You see, in the present condition of the world, circumstances are always difficult. The whole world is in a condition of strife, conflict between the forces of truth and light wanting to manifest, and the opposition of all that doesn't want to change, which represents in the past what is fixed, hardened, and refuses to go. Naturally, each individual feels his own difficulties, is faced by the same obstacle. There is only one way, one way. It is a total, complete, and conditioned surrender. What I mean by that is the giving up not only of one's action, work, ambitions, but also of all one's feelings, in the sense that all what you do, all what you are, is exclusively for the divine. So you feel above the human surrounding reaction. Not only above them, but protected from them by the wall of the divine grace. once you have no more desires, no more attachments, once you have given up all necessity of receiving a reward from the human beings, whoever they are, knowing that the only reward that is worth getting is that one that comes from the Supreme. And that never fails. Once you give up the attachment to all the exterior beings and things, you at once feel in your heart this presence, this force, this grace that is always with you. And there is no other remedy. It's the only remedy for everybody without exception. All those who suffer, it's the same thing that has to be said. All suffering is the sign that the surrender is not total. Then, when you feel in your pain like that, instead of saying, oh, this one is bad, or this circumstance is difficult, you say, my surrender is not perfect. And then you feel the grace that helps you and leads you, and you go. And one day you emerge in that peace that nothing can trouble. You answer to all the contrary forces, the contrary movements, the attacks, the misunderstanding, the bad will, with the same smile that comes from full confidence in the divine grace. And that is the only way out. There is no other. This world is a world of conflict, suffering, difficulty, strain. It's made of it. It has not yet changed. It will take some time before changing. And for each one, there is the possibility of getting out. If you lean back on the presence of the Supreme Grace, that is the only way up. That I'm telling you since 2-3 days like that. Constant. Now, but for your work, there is nothing to say. You are doing it perfectly well. Exactly as it has to be done, it is all right. The work is quite proper.
That is what I wanted to ask. That is why I wanted to say this. Whether this work is in any manner needed or not, why should I go on doing this?
Excellent. Go on doing it, you do it perfectly well. Don't expect human appreciation, because the human beings, they don't know on what grounds they can appreciate, and moreover, when there is something that is superior to them, they don't like it. And the first movement is wrong.
So where to get such a strength to get? Where to get such a strength to?
It's in you. The divine presence is in you. It is in you. You look for it outside, look inside. It is in you. The presence is there. You want the appreciation of the others to get strength, you will never get it. The strength is in you. If you want, you can aspire to what seems to you the supreme good, supreme light, supreme knowledge, supreme love. But it is in you. Otherwise you would never be able to contact it. If you go deep enough inside you, you will find it there. Like a flame that is always burning straight up. The messages that I can't write just now, I will send. I keep your paper. I will send the messages, and for your gentleman also, I will send him a card and some blessings. And don't believe that it is so difficult. It is because the look is always turned outside that you don't feel that presence. But if instead of looking outside for support, you concentrate and you pray inside. It is supreme knowledge to know at each moment what is to be done, the way to do it, and to give all you are, all you do, in order to acquire perfection. And you will feel that the support is there, always guiding, showing the way. And if there is a difficulty, instead of wanting to fight, you hand it over to this supreme wisdom to deal with it, to deal with all the bad wills, all the misunderstandings, all the bad reactions. If you surrender completely, it's no more your concern, it's the concern of the Supreme, who takes it up and knows better than anybody else what is to be done. The only way out, only way out. Well, I keep that, I'll send you.
One thing is, whatever I do there, that is also not liked by my own people.
Well,
And
your own people are all mixed up as everybody. There are some good.
and then but my feeling is so strong, not only strong in that way, but it is as clear as daylight, as if I am just sitting in your presence, that I do not do anything myself. This is such a great, clear experience to me from all these years, that whatever is being done by me, it is being done by some force and not by me at all. And it gets it done. But then
Huh? You expect the world to understand that?
no, but they may not
It's
understand.
impossible.
I don't want any credit for that. But you see the
uh,
obstacles and the
if you consider that I can understand and know, then you have my full support. I never told you that you were doing wrong, did I? No, once for all, you must understand that unless people are true yogi, out of the ego, completely surrendered to the Supreme, they can't understand. How could they see? With all the exterior eyes and knowledge, they see exterior things and appearances. They don't see the inside. When we have stopped expecting appreciation from the outside, that is from the human being, we have no reason to complain. They appreciate, so much better for them. They don't appreciate, it doesn't matter. It's their own lookout. We do the things not to please them. We do the things because we feel that is to be done.
I've never expected appreciation, Mother.
Perhaps things are coming to compel you to take up that position. Because that is a liberation. That is a true liberation.
I do not from ego, but I am a sadhu by nature. I don't need anything at all.
That's all right. But you must not need also the appreciation of your own family.
With all my failings and weaknesses, I don't need anything at all. I don't need any
Then you
appreciation.
can't suffer. Because the only thing you need, that is the support of the divine, and you have it. Then you can't suffer.
But I'm suffering very much.
And there is a conflict in the view. One part of your consciousness knows, but there is still one part that is the slave of the soul. Perhaps all that has been coming upon you for the supreme and the total liberation. And if you take it like the expression of the grace, you will see the result. Peace, a peace that nothing can disturb, perfect equanimity, and a strength that never fails. Take it as a new birth today, a new life that is beginning.
It was so wonderful to be in the presence of the mother and that atmosphere and in that silence, to feel the vibrant room in the silence. And now we invite Sailaja to read from the mother, the work of Sri Aurobindo. Please, Sailaja.
Namaste, dear all. Can everyone hear me okay? Yes.
Yes.
I just wanted to speak a little bit before I shared a reading. It was interesting. My first darshan in Pondicherry was actually this darshan 2 years ago. And it was really incredible for me. I still remember walking up the stairs. And I think there was a little sign that said, "Cling to the truth." And it meant so much to me at that time. There was a lot that had happened between 2020 and 2022, as many of you know. But more importantly, it felt like my final arrival home. And since that time, here we are 2 years later, so much has propelled me forward with that idea, cling to the truth. So recently, I have the great pleasure of being close to La Grace Center and spending time with Radhe, Vladimir, and other aspiring, I should say aspirants. And I was asking Vladimir, our Sanskrit scholar, what is the meaning of darshan? I loosely understand it, but what is a deeper meaning of it? And he so beautifully shared that loosely meaning to have a vision of the divine being, God, or deity, but not just simply with our immortal eyes, but to be in that presence, to be embraced by the supreme light. And in some ways, or in all ways, actually, I should say, our psychic being feels that nourishment, feels uplifted and transcended and transformed by their grace. So I wanted to remind ourselves this meaning of darshan, and what an auspicious event and an opportunity for all of us to gather here together as a collective, to have this single aspiration and goal, and to set an intention together. As we'd so beautifully seen in this recent film, there's only one way: total and perfect surrender. And if we feel those bangs, then we know so simply what our work needs to happen. And we have, and I just end by saying, or not end, but, and the mother has endured so much. Her coming, her final arrival to Pondicherry really meant that the certitude of victory over, victory of light over darkness. And so much divine manifestation occurred from that point onwards. It marked a significant transition, as I understand it. And she endured for us, for her children. If it was only her, the work would have been done so long ago, but it's really for us. And so let us come together on this day and truly complete and work on our surrender to her. We are blessed to have the guidance from Sri Aurobindo and the Mother, and this beautiful booklet, which I will now share from a passage from the Mother. If you want to be a true doer of divine works, your first aim must be to be totally free from all desire and self-regarding ego. All your life must be an offering and a sacrifice to the Supreme. Your only object in action shall be to serve, to receive, to fulfill, to become a divine manifesting instrument of the divine Shakti in her works. You must grow in the divine consciousness till there is no difference between your will and hers, no motive except her impulsion in you, no action that is not her conscious action in you and through you. Until you are capable of this complete dynamic identification, you have to regard yourself as a soul and body created for her service, and one who does all for her sake. Even if the idea of the separate worker is strong in you, and you feel that it is you who do the act, yet it must be done for her. All stress of egoistic choice, all hankering after personal profit, all stipulation of self-regarding desire must be extirpated from the nature. There must be no demand for fruit and no seeking for reward. The only fruit for you is the pleasure of the Divine Mother and the fulfillment of her work. Your only reward, a constant progression in divine consciousness, a calm and strength and bliss. The joy of service and the joy of inner growth through works is the sufficient recompense of the selfless worker. Namaste.
No,
Thank you, Sailaja. Very, very beautiful and touching, and for sharing your personal experience on this day at the ashram. We'd like to now ask Jayashri, who will share a few words and also a passage with you from Prayers and Meditation. Jayashri?
Namaste, everyone, and a blessed Darshan day to all. What a special day it is today in all our lives, and coming together as a community to celebrate the coming of Mother to Pondicherry. What great joy. You wake up feeling, my goodness, there's something so special in the air today. And then to see this beautiful movie about Tara Johar's father, Surendranath, with the mother. I've seen this before, and every time it has touched me because you can see the total surrender that he had, complete surrender to the mother. And the mother's love and compassion for her child. You know, she understands why he's suffering. She understands how we common folk want appreciation from our fellow beings, to appreciate and understand the work we are doing. That's so natural. Yet Mother doesn't have any harsh words. She says, they won't understand. She's explaining it so beautifully. You know, it reminded me of my childhood when I was little and I would go to my mom with a problem. So lovingly, they explain it to you. That's the mother, all encompassing with her love and understanding. We all are in that atmosphere today. It is very special today and every day of our lives. Truly, we are very fortunate to be together on this path, the sunlit path. And I, for one, consider myself extremely fortunate, and I'm full of gratitude that I'm close to the center, can work in my little way, offer my prayers, offer my aspirations through the work that is provided. And with that, I'm going to offer today from Mother's book, Prayers and Meditations of the Mother. This book is very special to me. I bought it when I first started on the path a number of years ago. And repeatedly, I have gone through the pages and read a prayer each time. And the prayer is infused, every prayer is infused with Mother's consciousness. You can almost feel that you're sitting in the presence of Mother, literally, and listening to the prayer arising from the heart. So with that feeling, I'm going to read from page 35, April 10, 1914. This is when the first time Mother came on March 29th. She's writing in her prayers and meditation journal. April 10, 1914. Suddenly the veil was rent, the horizon was disclosed, and before the clear vision, my whole being threw itself at thy feet in a great outburst of gratitude. Yet, in spite of this deep and integral joy, all was calm, all was peaceful with the peace of eternity. I seem to have no more limits. There is no longer the perception of the body, no sensations, no feelings, no thoughts. A clear, pure, tranquil immensity, penetrated with love and light, filled with an unspeakable beatitude, is all that is there. And that alone seems now to be myself. And this myself is so little, the former I, selfish and limited, that I cannot tell if it is I or thou, O Lord, sublime master of our destinies. It is as though all were energy, courage, force, will, infinite sweetness, incomparable compassion. Even more forcibly than during these last days, the past is dead, and as though buried under the rays of a new life, the last glance that I have just thrown backward as I read a few pages of this book definitely convinced me of this death, and lightened of a great weight, I present myself before thee, O my divine Master, with all the simplicity, all the nudity of a child. And still the one only thing I perceive is the calm and pure immensity. Lord, thou hast answered my prayer. Thou hast granted me what I have asked from thee. The I has disappeared. There is only a docile instrument put at thy service, a center of concentration and manifestation of thy infinite and eternal rays. Thou hast taken my life and made it thine. Thou hast taken my will and hast united it to thine. Thou hast taken my love and identified it with thine. Thou hast taken my thought and replaced it by thy absolute consciousness. The body, marveling, bows its forehead in the dust, in mute and submissive adoration. And nothing else exists but thou alone in the splendor of thy immutable peace. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you for reading this prayer of the Mother. We are now, you know that La Grace Sainte is a twin sister of the Sainte in India. The whole idea of HP was to build a bridge between East and West, between, let us say, Mother and Sri Aurobindo, between power and consciousness, between knowledge and power. And our sister organization, the center also, Sri Aurobindo Integral Life Center in Surat, in the same campus with Auro University, is built and finished. And we would like to share with you the final product, so you will see the beauty of this building dedicated to Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. So I will play this film. It's only 4 minutes, but it will give you a kind of a visual of this center. Let me project it.
Thank you, Vladimir, for showing that film. Vladimir and I certainly hope to be over there to visit the center in the next year or so. And I know Vikram, Sailaja's husband, was there to see both our university and the center several months ago. So very nice. And HP Rama would love to invite you all, if you're ever in Surat, to join both the center and the university there. HP Rama unfortunately couldn't be with us this morning because he is traveling back from India, having been there for a couple months, but he is landing this afternoon and will be at our afternoon darshan that we're having here at the Lagras Center. And any of you that are in the area, we would love for you to come and join the darshan here at the center this afternoon. With that, I would like to turn it over to Dolores, who will share a few words herself, and then she'll open it up for the sharing period. Dolores?
Namaste. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Thank you so much. This is such a special occasion, a beautiful day. And the message from the ashram came just for all of us to realize how fortunate we are. And I feel an amazing gratitude. And reading the mother, she said, the best way to express gratitude to the divine is to be simply happy. And that word simply underlies not the vital excitement, but this beautiful, subtle peace, equanimity, and surrender. And we were talking about and underlying the importance of that with such beautiful messages and beautiful films. I would like to open the offerings today for all of us to share something that we feel it's important to unite and to reinforce our ardent aspirations. But also to realize that as we started this darshan with beautiful experiences from Narad and reading Savitri, and he brought this peace, this presence directly from the ashram, directly from Pondicherry to all of us. And it's such a privilege. But also to remember the message, because as we all see two and one, I believe the manifestation of that and confirmation of that, it's the true message of Savitri. As Sri Aurobindo wrote that, and Mara read it, that's the beautiful union of both. I would like to narrate a passage that Mother read, and it's one of my favorite ones. It's a book 11. And I feel there's so much force in that, and confirmation and the promise. So I'm going to concentrate right now to read Savitri. And just as a reminder, there was a beautiful interview with Udar, and he was sharing how Mother told him once that Savitri is a mantra of the world. And if you read Savitri in that moment, something is changing in the world. Just imagine the power that Sri Aurobindo and the Mother gave us. So let me share with you my favorite passage. Who hunts and seizes me, my captive grows. This shall thou henceforth learn from thy heart, this forever love. O beautiful slave of God. O lasso of my raptures widening nude, become my cord of universal love. The spirit ensnared by the force of delight of creation's oneness, sweet and fathomless, compelled to embrace my myriad unities and all my endless forms and divine soul. O mind, grow full of the eternal peace. Om word, cry out the immortal litany. Build is the golden tower, the flame child born. Namaste. I would like to open to everybody to share their aspiration, words, and such an important occasion. Thank you.
So if you could just raise your hand, anyone that's would like to share. It can be a poem or a quote or just a feeling or comment, but you just can raise your hand and Dolores will call on you. You're muted, Dolores.
Sorry, with CVA. Hi, just unmute yourself. Please share. So great to see you. Namaste.
Yes, namaste. I'm sorry about the lights in the background, not the best lighting. Yes, my name is Vikram. For those of you who do not know me, I have this little calendar that I had received during my retreat, I think 2 years ago, from La Grey Center. So I keep it on the desk, and then today's message is the divine and universal mother has turned her gaze upon the earth and she has blessed it. And it was, I always try to spend as often as I can to connect with the mother throughout the day and see her in the going-ons of daily life. And it was very interesting when Salaja and I went to our very first darshan 2 years ago on this day. And it's very symbolic how tangible and real it seems as days pass, how the divine is continuing to manifest and unfold in this world around us, despite all these so-called stressors that are happening around us. The assurance from the divine cannot be felt more and more as the days pass, and that's the feeling that I wanted to share.
Thank you. This is a really important occasion. If you feel something that you want to share with all of us, it can enrich and potentiate already establish a beautiful vibration, and we're all learning from each other. So please share. I have a few minutes. I just really want to share that I was in Pondicherry, and we actually were together in Vinkatanam in a beautiful retreat for a special work. And I also were having a privilege to be at Golkon, and the presence of the mother was everywhere. You can feel it in the room, you can feel it in the bathrooms, you can feel it in the garden, you can feel it when you were offered tea, and all the workers, they were all expressing this calm poise of be supported by the mother. And every time we feel that we're under the attack of the life, I think we just have to bring this poise, this amazing peace that is always with us, just by remembering her. If you truly aspire for this transformation, the reminders to do, you will need three things: consciousness, plasticity, and unreserved surrender. I believe as we are all here, we are really conscious about our role as adventurer, because she called us to this beautiful adventure of life. Plasticity, that's those pangs that give us every day and we feel uncomfortable and maybe achy somewhere. Just open it up, make it plastic for her touch. And surrender, this is we all aspire to that. And as this beautiful video and darshan of the mother remind us, this is the only way out. Bringing her grace to every single moment and to be open to this beautiful touch, white, receptive, and plastic. Thank you.
Thank you. I see Vishal also, although he didn't raise his hand, also would like to share.
Yeah, let me just start the video. So, yeah, thank you. I just wanted to say it was so beautiful, especially from some of the younger participants. I was reminded, Mother had said that, when I think some of the older sadhaks, you feel you love me, my children are going to come down who are going to love me immensely more. And I see that when I see, the university in Surat, I see so many younger people. We are all young, but, even the younger ones, they're drawn so early. And Dolores, that was so beautifully read. It is one of my favorite cantos. I was actually thinking of reading something from book 11, but you read it and you did it so beautifully. So thank you so much. Just wanted to say that.
Thank you really much. This particular passage, Mother wrote with such a strength that she was putting in there this promise of that's happening. And it's always inspires me so much. And thank you. I wanted to read exactly with her pace as a mantric vibration to resonate in all of us, because it's a true promise and we can all aspire to that and have this faith, unmutable faith that it's going to happen.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for this beautiful, beautiful meeting today of all of us, aspiring for Mother, aspiring for Sri Aurobindo, always in her presence, always surrendered at her feet. So thank you so much. Namaste.
And if there is no more, we do have Bill.
Yes, we
Great,
have
Bill.
Bill. Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. And that's mainly what I wanted to say was thank you. And I did. It's funny, in this, I picked up my Savitri just the other day. It was sitting on the shelf and I put it, I've got a pillow, on the bed that I put the books I'm going to read there. And just after months, I just grabbed it. And then today I had no idea I was doing this, and I saw the email. So thank you for the outreach. It's wonderful to see you. I send my blessings and love, and it's been a difficult time and some of healing for me. So when the oh my God, the movie of the mother, what a blessing that was. And I muted my video because I just immediately went out, I mean, to sleep. And there was no reason for me to go to sleep. But I have learned that when that happens, to trust it, because it's usually a very deep healing going on somewhere within me. And then I just came out of it, and the video was wrapping up, and here were all beautiful you. So it's not, I didn't miss it. I was right here, and have a wonderful day, and thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you again. Namaste.
Namaste. And Bill, again, we know about so many levels of consciousness, and I'm sure you went to the deep Satchidananda in that point and received that all.
Silence is also sharing, so it's a good statement. Words are good to have, but silence is also a very good support. Everybody is attentive, present in the mother. So maybe we then move to the final meditation. It will take only 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. And with this, we close our gathering for today, for this special day. So I will project the music and meditation.
ॐ तत्सवितुर्भरमरूपं ज्योतिः परस्य धीमहि यन्नः सत्येन दीपये सत्येन दीपये ॐ तत्सवितुर्भरमरूपं ज्योतिः परस्य धीमहि यन्नः सत्येन दीपये सत्येन दीपये
भगवते
Thank you all for joining us today. We wish you all happy Darshan. And for some of you, we will see you this afternoon at La Grasse. But thank you all for sharing, for being present, for sending your love to the community and to Sri Aurobindo and the mother. Namaste.